Hello everyone, this is Toby with Birdsong Studios. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are well. Thank you so much for joining me here today. We are looking at the energies around the full moon in Scorpio. It actually occurs today, right about now as I'm filming. So unfortunately you may not see this until tomorrow on the 24th. However, I'll get it to you as soon as possible. And the energies certainly do not cut off at midnight when the date changes. So we will be feeling these probably at least for the next few days. Normally you don't see cards out here when I start the video, but I thought I was getting a sense of the energy before, as I was sitting here meditating and tapping into it, and thought I would pull a few cards, and they confirmed what I was feeling. And so I thought we'd start by looking at these. I'll put them back in the deck and then we'll shuffle again. But I wanted you guys to see them because Scorpio is opposite of Taurus on the nodal axis. And last year, of course, the North Node was in Taurus, and so the South Node was in Scorpio. And I was feeling, as I was even setting up for preparing for the video, I was feeling a lot of the Taurian energy, feeling a very grounded, earthy energy around this full moon. And I did speak on that a little bit in my last video, I believe. Yes, I did. And what was interesting was that it feels, there is so much earthiness to this moon, and yet Scorpio is a water sign, but it goes really deep, right? Scorpio is very comfortable going to the depths of oneself, of an issue, of a subject, of emotions. It's very comfortable in those depths and the depths of psychology. And yet with this full moon, there is an aspect of the depths of groundedness that we have reached in the work that we've done with ourselves, in ourselves, and how that's impacted the collective, of course. But it's almost as if this is, so the North Node is now in Aries, and so it's almost as if, sorry, my cat decided to join us. It's almost as if this is I don't want to say a final look, but it is almost as if this is a bringing together of the energies that we learned, that we gained, the wisdom that was gained over the time period when the nodes were on the Taurus and Scorpio axis. And so Taurus was the North Node last year, so it was very much in our present experience. And so with the full moon in Scorpio, it really feels like it's how this balancing of, have we done the shadow work? Have we gone to the depths within ourselves? And if we have or if we haven't, how has that impacted, or can we recognize the impact that has upon not only our physical experience, but how that impacts our sense of value, our sense of security, our sense of well-being, our sense of groundedness in those emotional states, in those emotional experiences. And so that's what I was feeling into. And so the first card, these came out from this side. I set them out right to left. We have Blossoming Abundance, card number 3. We had Attachment, and look, she's holding a mask and looking. See if I've got the camera a little different because my setup's a little wonky right now as I'm moving things around. So anyway, see how she has that mask, right? That's very much, to me, feels like, are we attached to something that a mask that has kept us from fully expressing and integrating all aspects of ourselves. Are we attached to that? Are we attached to a version of ourselves that we put forth publicly? And how is that an opening or a blockage to blossoming abundance? Then we have card number 33. So 3 is out here twice, well, 3 times technically, which is door to romance. And this is, you know, so how is that impacting our heart? How is that impacting whether we are operating from an open heart, whether we are open or operating from a place of being open to receive love, receive, again, abundance. And then we have card number 11, cornucopia. So that is everything wonderful, right? So it felt very profoundly linked to all the energies I was feeling as I was setting up. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw this, because it does feel like the theme for this full moon is going to be that balance of the Taurian and the Scorpio energy. And really, this gives us an opportunity to look upon what we have or have not learned from our time in the Taurus-Scorpio axis. And that would have been last year, so 2003, probably when March, April 2003 until early this year. Is when it finally completely switched, I believe. So yes, with that new moon in Libra, is that when that happened, or was it earlier? It might have been earlier in March. But anyway, so what were the things that we learned at that time? Since then, have we, and this is an opportunity for us to then integrate that fully and deeply within ourselves, within our emotional body, the water of Scorpio, and within our physical body, the physicality of Taurus. And then our next new moon will be a new moon in Taurus. So that will be an opportunity for us to then put all of these things into practice from a place of, I'm hearing, freshness and newness, and if we so choose, without the masks that we have been placing upon ourselves that have potentially caused attachments and maybe some blockages in these areas. So let's, shall we put these back? Let's put these back and let's see what we have come out. I will shuffle again. I'm going to put these randomly in the deck. We'll use the same deck. It'll be curious. I will be curious to see if we have the, oh look, and there it is on the split. Blossoming Abundance. So let's see what comes out. Do one more and see what we have here for our main themes for this full moon. So how's everybody feeling? How are you feeling post-eclipse? Look at that. Door to romance coming right back out. Alright, let's see what else we get here. We have the sun, which is 1, so not 11, but again, that's, and she's bathing in a giant cup of water energy. Look at that. Okay, let's see what else we have. Door to value. Oh my gosh. And more threes. 31. Yeah. All the same themes that we were just talking about. We'll do one more. Oh. Hostilities. Interesting. Interesting. Okay, so this is where, so this is card number 8. So maybe those masks have come as a result of feeling that you needed to defend yourself. And if so, what is it that you feel like you need to defend yourself from? And recognizing how having one sword up is blocking. Look, we have 2 doorways. We have the door to value. I didn't show that one. And then we have the door to romance. So how is this sense of defensiveness, of self-protection even? How is that, how has that blocked you from opening your heart? An open heart allows for receiving, and that allows for the opening of the door to value. And look how he's even got, look, the helmet, it has a face shield. So there's your mask as well. So coming from this defensive position, is that masking your truest self? Does that allow for the fullest expression of who you are? I would say probably not. If we're in a defensive position and we're not operating, if we're in a defensive position, we're not able to operate from the heart space, and we're not, therefore, able to operate from our truest self. And look, we have 4, I didn't even pay attention to this, we have 4 cards, and we have 4 distinct areas of this sigil, 4 colors as well. I wondered as I was beginning to meditate if this was representative of the 4 elements, but I don't feel like it is. It feels like half of something, because I was drawn to 4 and then I was drawn to 26, and 2 plus 6 is 8. So it feels like, oh, 8 is the number of abundance, 4 is the number of, well, in some ways, stability and security, of harmony, balance. I think this is representative of that axis of Scorpio and Taurus, and how this moon is not just about the Scorpionic energies and archetypes, but it's very much about how those archetypes and how we are expressing those, or how they are expressed through us, how we allow them to be expressed through us. And the connection between that expression and how we experience the Taurian energy, how that is then how that comes forth in our physical life, how that comes forth in tangible ways, how that comes forth. I mean, Taurus is ruled by Venus. There's your door to romance. It's also very much associated, because Venus is love, but it's also abundance in all forms, right? So it's associated with finances. Scorpio is associated with other people's money, a lot of times, debt, taxes. So the balance of literally, how are we paying ourselves versus how are we paying others? Ooh, that's interesting. Very interesting. Are you seeing the value in yourself, or are you feeling as if it's any energetic exchange, that there's more value in the offering of energy to another and not ensuring that that exchange is reciprocal? Very interesting. Okay, so let's look at let's do the Wild Unknown Tarot, and we'll look at each of these a little bit more. Let's see. Interesting, we have the Hermit and the Nine of Swords here, just kind of making themselves known here during the shuffling. My cat likes to come and go while I'm recording, as cats do. Oh, now she's gonna eat. So if you hear crunching in the background, it's not me. So let's look at hostilities first. What do we need to know about hostilities? Father of Pentacles. Well, there's Taurus right there. Oh, actually, I suppose would be the Mother of Pentacles, wouldn't it? Because Taurus is a more feminine energy. Oh, well, there you go. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So since we have, oh my gosh, that's too funny. Oh, you gotta love it, right? So since we have both the masculine and the feminine in the pentacles and the earth energies here, so is that hostility within you? Is it is there a conflict between, oh my gosh, my nose is just all of a sudden, between, yeah, there is Five of Wands, that's conflict. It's look at that. Conflict between the balancing of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within you. Can you even see that? Yeah, you can. So I'll show you these. We have, whoops, there we go. Father of Pentacles. That would be the King of Pentacles. Mother of Pentacles would be Queen. I feel like I'm going to sneeze, guys. And then the Five of Wands. You know, sometimes the Five of Wands is like, I've heard it referred to as being like a training type conflict. So I'm picturing like fencing is what I'm picturing. The sport, not putting out fence. Yeah, it seems like this kind of, let's see if I can find the word. Symbolic battle within you between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And that would certainly impact one's ability to receive and one's ability to set boundaries for reciprocity, and also for being able to find and not only accept one's value, but I'm getting that sense of action, the action of the masculine too, knowing when to take action interesting. I'm getting this vision of like the again, the two, the divine masculine and divine feminine fencing, and whenever the masculine feels inspired, motivated, called to move forward, then it's almost as if the divine feminine is stepping in and just enough to create some hesitation, and hesitation in belief in oneself. Now that can also, that can be within you, that could be with a specific person too, because we have romance out here, but I'm feeling that this work is internal for the most part, and so that's how we're going to, that's the angle, the perspective we'll take for the reading. Okay, so let's look at door to romance. Oh, interesting. That one's upside down. So 8 of Wands reversed. I'm going to leave it reversed because I don't have... No, it's... Okay. So a lack of movement, a lack of action. That certainly would be, goes right along with what we were talking about the masculine, right? About that sense of hesitation, that sense of then doubting oneself, temperance, the balancing of the water and the fire energies. It's card number 14. Sagittarian energy. I love that version of temperance. You know, that's a beautiful representation. The great blue heron, they're so stealthy. They move so intentionally, and that's what temperance invites us to do. It's to balance the movement of the stillness of the water, and knowing when to strike, and knowing when to even relocate, because you know, a great blue heron might be sitting in the shallows and not be noticed by people around or animals around because they're so still. And they blend in so easily with the water and the surroundings. And yet, they also know when to move away to find a better location. So there's something about the movement of that too. And that brings me back around to the fencing analogy of, but the difference with the great blue heron is they do it from a balanced standpoint. So they know when to take action, and they don't hesitate, right? If someone gets too close to a great blue heron, they're going to move. They're not going to wait to see what's going to happen and what you're going to do. There's no hesitation there. They know instinctively when to move and when to be still. Wow, and then we have the Ace of Swords, and that's, I'm going to show these to you. So we have the 8 of Wands reversed, and this is for, oops, door to romance. How about we do this? We kind of stack them. Then we have Temperance. I love this card, it's so pretty. Harnessing both the water and the fire. And then, whoops, and then we have the Ace of Swords. And look at that infinity in the Ouroboros. There isn't a snake's head on here, but it has the the scales drawn in there, which makes me think of the Ouroboros. So let's see, give me just a second, guys. It feels like the truth of what is coming forward under this Scorpio full moon is where there has been a hesitation even in following the emotion or your intuition in not only, well, specifically in romance, but things that fill your heart. And that's what's caused this inaction, and that's what's caused the blockage. So balancing the water and the fire energy, and we're talking about water and earth energy with Scorpio and Taurus. But in this case, we have the fire energy because of the action that's needed to support the divine masculine. And I'm not talking about gender, I'm not talking about a specific person, I'm talking about the divine masculine energies within you. So being open, and this is where Scorpio is looking at what's in the depths. Being open to see the truth and to allow yourself to have this rebirth that occurs from releasing, allowing the transformation of this pattern of hesitation, of not moving forward, of not following your heart, not being open to listen to your heart, not being open to then receiving because you're not listening to the call of your heart, the song within your heart, the things that inspire you. So when we are hesitating on that which inspires us, then that sends that sort of blockage, resistance energy out around us, and that is the truth that is potentially a little bit, it feels ouchy. It feels ouchy to look at, right? Because it's hard. It's not so easy to look at ourselves and say, well, the patterns that I've exhibited are the things that have caused these blockages. But as always, the part of this process that is so critical is to allow grace for yourself, allow yourself to go through this process without judgment of yourself, to see it for the truth and the honesty without judgment, and instead with love and with acceptance, so that we can then move through it and recognize maybe that that's our tendency. But that doesn't mean that we have to continue it, because now that we have awareness, we can make different choices. So let's look at the sun. No, we're going to look at door to value next. And I feel like we need to do something different with the sun. So let's see what we have with door to value. This feels very connected to the door to romance. I mean, they're both Venusian type energies, both Taurian energies. So how has, again, what we talked about in the beginning, oh look, now we have the water, Father of Cups. How fascinating. We've got the water energy here with the Taurian energy here. And then we've got the earth energy on this side. There's that Taurus Scorpio axis. So we're back to what we were talking about. How is what it has been hidden, or that we've remained attached to in the shadow, how has that, oh wow, how has that kept us from fully experiencing the higher vibrational archetypes of Taurus, of abundance and security and love and that earthy sensualness. Sensualness, is that a word? I don't know. Wow, look at all the healing that comes from this though. Like, we have the Father of Cups. Okay, let me show it to you. We have the Father of Cups. Beautiful black swan. That's Scorpio energy. We have, what do we have? The World, that's what I thought. We have the World. That's Jupiter energy. Right? Yeah, that's Jupiter. We just had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction on Saturday. And then we have this star. That's Aquarian energy. And Pluto, the ruler of Scorpio, is in Aquarius. So there's a lot of Scorpionic energy in the cosmos right now. It's time. The world says it's time. The world says that we are closing out this cycle. And that's what we talked about to begin with, right? We're bringing together all the pieces, these 4 parts. We're bringing together all the pieces that we have gathered, that we have learned, that we have acquired, attained, activated. And I can't think of another word. And now we're integrating them. Now we've integrated them, but now we're really bringing them down deep into the cells of our being, into our soul. And this is the healing that happens. We have the star here. Wow, it's time. It's time. I feel like if I feel like you guys are already experiencing this, that you're already aware of this. If you're not aware of it, you're aware of the feelings of it, and I am just merely putting into words what you've been experiencing emotionally and in your physical world, and here to confirm that for you, and here to also offer some reassurance that first, you're not alone in this process, and secondly, that it's leading to this new cycle that we are about to begin. We're on the cusp. We've actually already begun it, but we're really grounding it in now that we're in Taurus season and with this Taurus new moon coming up. And this is that point of integration, and then the healing that comes from that is just incredible. It's just incredible. And that's why we need to do something different with the sun, because that is happiness, right? It's joy, it's fulfillment. So what are we going to do for the sun? Let's see. We shall do... Give me just a moment. Let me feel into this. Yeah. We'll do the Mystical Moments Tarot. It has a very kind of Venusian and Scorpionic vibe to it. So remember too, we have 2 doors here. So this, oh my gosh, I just dropped half the deck in my lap. So this is, yeah, I thought I did. I'm gonna get them upright. So this is the, this is that doorway that we're moving through. Scorpio is allowing us to, if we so choose, to enter through the doorway of its energy, to look inside, to look into the depths and see how what remains there, what we have not integrated fully, or what we have integrated, that might be your experience, that how that impacts your physical world, how that impacts your sense of security and stability and comfort, how that impacts the Venusian energies in your life, romance, abundance, finances. And are you in that pendulum between the two, not pendulum, but in that scale between the two? How is each side weighted? Are they equally balanced, or are you again, are you paying other people more than you're paying yourself? You know what? I'm going to leave it reversed. You know why? Okay, so we have the strength, right? I'm going to show it to you reverse. I'm going to show it to you upright. Whoops. We have the strength. The reason now, first of all, this is card number 8. And we talked about 8 before, didn't we? We talked about that balance point. The sun, card number 8 is associated with the sign of Leo. The sun rules Leo. Now, the reason why I'm leaving this reversed is because there are instances where the strength can be it can be pushing yourself too far. It can be a sense of determination that keeps you going. Even if we're talking about overgiving, even that keeps you going because that is your belief that you must do that, right? That you're trying to prove something. That's what it is. That you're proving yourself, that you must prove yourself. So this is coming out reversed because we're moving away from that tendency. And I know that this is not necessarily the traditional reading of reversed of the strength, but this is what I'm getting. So, and this is how I read. So this is indicative of being in a place of balance, of not overgiving, of not feeling like you need to prove yourself, of not feeling like you need to explain yourself, of expressing yourself, of being yourself, of removing the mask, and allowing for, see how, here's the other thing, in the strength, she has tamed this lion, right? She keeps him kind of on a chain. I don't know that she has a chain in this version of it, but oftentimes he's tied to her, right? She's leading the lion. And you know what we're doing here? We are allowing our inner lion to be as present as the child. We're not leashed any longer. We are not chained any longer. We are allowing for the integration of all aspects of ourselves, even the ones that are intense, even the ones that are very powerful and so maybe intimidating to other people. Now, this is not to say that you go out and I'm not encouraging anyone to act like a jerk. What I'm saying is allowing all of these internal energies to come to integrate and to work together from a place of balance, from a place of open-heartedness, from a place of understanding one's value, from a place of being so secure in oneself that you do not feel like you need to defend yourself from anything or anyone. I'm going to say that again. Being so secure in yourself and so balanced in all of your internal energies that you do not feel like you have to defend yourself from anything or anyone. Because you trust in yourself more than anything. And you trust in yourself and your guides, but you trust in yourself. You have to trust in yourself. Well, you don't have to do anything, but It's all your choice. But trusting in yourself, that is the invitation. This is the doorway that we are being invited to walk through at this time. Okay, so let's do, oh, and look, we have the Four of Pentacles on the bottom. Oh, she's upside down that way. Look at that, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, this is what we're overcoming. This is what we're overcoming. This feeling of feeling like we have to be, that we're restricted, that we're restrained, right? Because it's something that we've created within ourselves. See how that house is almost part of her dress? Well, I guess it's not, but it looks like it. See how it matches the colors and everything? But that's that sense of restriction that we've created. She has put herself behind. Why can't I get this angle right? There we go. Kinda. Okay, maybe not. She's put herself behind the fence. She's put herself behind those locks. I mean, she could easily climb over that fence. I'm betting she's got the key somewhere and I just can't see it because I don't have my glasses on. She has the key to be able to remove herself from this position. And that's what we are doing here. There was a key somewhere. Where did I look? In the middle of the heart. There's a lock there. Look, the key is right next to the door. See it? Can you see it? Let me point it out. Oh, where is it? Right there. There's the key. It's right there. The key is right there in front of us. Interesting. There's no lock on this door. The key is right there. We just have to utilize it. Okay, so let's do one more. We're going to, yeah, let's do Life Soul Vision Oracle to end. Look at this. We have Dancer, Maverick of the Light, Dancer of the Shadows. This, I mean, this is like exactly what we've been talking about, right? The merging of the light and the shadow. Okay, so let's see what we get. Let's see what we have here to bring this all together. Although I think we've brought it all together, but we will get one more. Wow, if the rainbow dragon comes out, you guys, we'll see. No. Waves crash and stars fall. Okay, wait a minute, there's one more. Spirals of love and grief. We have 5 and 7. So the spirals of love and grief is what we've talked about with merging everything that we've learned from last year, right? It's that the healing spiral where we start at a certain vibration, and as we heal, the process never ends. However, our vibration and therefore our perspective and the information that we gain from that particular experience shifts and the vibration continues to rise. And so that's this spirals of love and grief. And this is what we're integrating now. And I feel like the waves crash and stars fall. It's kind of tower energy, which is you know, that energy of things having to be brought down so that we can build something new. And so depending upon where you are in this process, and oh, let me move these back over here. Depending upon where you are in this process, this could very well feel like a tower moment. And tower moments don't have to be negative. They don't. They can be these massive revelations that happen where it may momentarily feel like a construct or a belief system is just kind of falling to pieces because you have an epiphany of the falsehood of it, and now you can see it for what it truly is. So that could very well be some of you may have that type of experience with this full moon. And speaking of that, speaking of like illusions falling away, we have the Mars and Neptune conjunction coming up this coming Sunday on the 28th, and so that's going to play into that as well. So, all right, I think, oh gosh, we've been going a long time. I'm gonna do one more. I hope you guys are sticking with me on this. Stay with me, don't go anywhere just yet. We need some earthy energy. Let's bring in some earthy energy from, no, that's the wrong one. That's not the one I wanted. The Shaman's Oracle. Let's see what we have here. Oh, my fingers don't want to work. One more, guys. One more. Excuse me. That was a horrible shuffle. Let's try that again. Move this over momentarily. Wow, and we have a 3 again. We have the arrow. So we have the arrow. And it is card number 3. We have a lot of 3s here. A lot of 3s. And 5s. Which is 8. We talked about 8 too. The arrow very much reminds me of the Ace of Swords. And because it feels like being very clear and honest with yourself about the direction that you are facing. And if that's not the direction you want to be facing, if that's not the way you want to aim yourself as you move forward through this year, now is the time to reorient yourself. Now is the time to reorient. So what direction are you shooting the arrows of your energy, of your intention, of your desires? What are you aimed towards? And it may not be a specific thing, but are you aimed at, if you don't know the specifics of it, that's totally fine. But are you aimed towards the things that fill your heart, that allow you to operate from an open-hearted space and an open-hearted energy? The things that support you in that energy, the things, people, places, experiences that allow you to be or support you in being balanced, that are encouraging and uplifting in ways that support this open-hearted energy. and are things that the sense they give you are of open doors and not closed doors. We talked about open doors in that last video too, didn't we? So what do you aim towards? What are you aiming towards? And is it in alignment with what you want to experience going forward? So now is a time to realign yourself, reorient yourself if it is not. And to do so from a place of truth and honesty with yourself. That's going to be critical. Okay, I am going to leave it there. Thank you for staying with me this long. I know this was a rather lengthy reading. I appreciate you being here with me. If you're interested in a personal reading, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to connect with you, and I will be back soon. If you have any questions or comments, I love to read your comments, so please be sure to put them below. And so until the next reading, thank you so much for your time, your energy, your openness to these messages, and your continued support. Thank you.